So getting into talking about what happens if you try to love a narcissist. If you just think, well, the poor things, the reason why that they're raging and they disrespect me and my kids is because they need they are in pain. They need help. I need to just love them. I need to love them, and I just need to unconditionally love them. I need to be there for them and give to them and provide. I love them. Well, what's going to happen to you is that you're going to turn into, they're going to keep doing things, includes cheating on you. They will turn you into that, even worse. My last video, I coined the term narcissistic flea. They will turn anybody into a narcissistic flea. Man, it's just, if you had a human need, if it's just a human right that you were after, and somehow, of course, they're taking all of that away if they can, so they can be evil. Really, this is getting into the evil part of things. Why would we call it evil? It's because they are consciously doing these things. So, like, if they feel that there isn't enough going on, these fucking people are they can't just sit still. They have to be full of some kind of addiction that usually it's a toxic thing like gambling or, sex or whatever shitty drug. They're using everything. I mean, all of these things, sex, gambling, and drugs, we can do them and have fun, but they're doing it as a vice. Boy, like, you need it to in order to live, and it's like, the truth is you can live without it. You know what I mean, right? The truth is you satiate yourself. What I mean. You don't really live without it. It's not really not the right thing to say. It's more like, this is life. You satiate yourself. You transcend. You move deeply into it, and then you get out. In fact, you can't get out until you move deeply into it. And part of the depth of moving into it is seeing that, well, this isn't really anywhere I can live. I can't really live here. Like, you can't live having sex on the table forever, as much as this Aries rising. See, the thing that you would misunderstand about some people who are highly sexual, that's just the way that they're introducing themselves, and that will fade away if you can if you're not hung up, and they're not hung up. It's like eating. You go out to eat and you have a smorgasbord and you're like, fuck, wasn't that great? Let's do it again. Fuck yeah. Right? No? Okay, so we will have, you guys aren't looking good at all. Pardon me. Anyway, God. I'm Mars ruled, and you're not going to tell us that sex is bad. That's one of the things that narcissists are saying. Cerebral narcissists, oh, what a waste of time that is. It's like, really? Then you're a waste of time, because your mother and father had to have sex to have you here, and most likely didn't love each other. I don't know, babe. There's science behind it. Look at it. The science says if they love each other and they're in harmony, and they're actually smiling, it's kindness. The children are naturally smarter. They have the real intelligence on. It's not this fostered shit where, yeah, let's get into the system and now you will have power if you just learn how to turn a screw. You're not impressive, babe. You're really not. Not nowadays. It's gotten away with itself for 60 years. That's what Sam Vaknin says. He says, it's the condition that we've seen rise up, as well as psychology trying to keep up with it. Sigmund Freud really did contribute to good, he says, to a lot of what we know, but a lot of it is being tossed aside, and there's a lot of things being tossed aside. Why? Because of the rise in the blindness of mind. As long as we don't see the mind, it's going to say, "Wee, I'm real." But Buddhism is just a conversation between two people. If you really want to know what it is, that's what it is. One of them is conqueror of the mind and says, actually, the mind isn't reality. There's a way that you can start talking about it, because the mind says, no, this is real. And of course, the West is going to escape the East, which is that ancient knowledge that says, bullshit, the first thing that you need to realize is the nature of the mind. Otherwise, you're not going to have access to reality nor the truth. And then you're whatever you're doing through the filter of the mind is you're going to be distorting it, even if it was a truth as simple as plumbing or doing a job. This is what we have. It's called cognitive dissonance. These people running around, they are being taught non-truths, and they're saying, no, this is what you do to heal the environment or to heal people. Is just follow our company. We have company, people working for company over there. Anyway, thanks for listening to this. The main thing I wanted to say is that if you attempt to love them and make sense with them in a relationship, you better be being paid by them, because you work in an institution full of these mental cases. And the common thing is, the person that goes in there and tries to make everybody in the mental institution sane and love them and make them better, they are driven just as crazy. They are going to be as crazy, but see, that's an innocent thing that goes on. Yay! We all know we're nuts. Fuck yeah, they're all ahead of everybody. Go and get along with people over there where they get along and they're having food and they just know they're crazy. The society out there that poses and as being perfectly fine, but they're covert narcissists out there and all that shit that have the resources enough to invade people's lives and keep up the racket of tasteless shit going on, like circuses and all that. People are turned into narcissists when they try to love a narcissist. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Because their humanity is being undermined. They're being turned into a slave of some sort. They're being turned into a fucking beat up piece of meat. And what happens is that the narcissist doesn't have any respect for you at all, because you're allowing that to happen, but you're staying there and they will stay there and you're just a welcome mat, and they are cheating on you over there. They'll turn you into that. They'll turn you into worse than that. If you try to love them and you think that, oh, I'm sheltering them and this is an unfortunate thing. You can stay with them for 35 years, and guess what happens? Guess what happens? This is a statistic that shows up in psychology. It's a love-hate relationship. We already know that, and that's normal, right? Everybody says, oh, that's normal. No, it's not. There is no such thing as love existing with hate. No. Nope. You either got it or you don't. You either get it or you don't. So, but the narcissists, they'll say, oh, I hate him. Oh, I just hate him so much and love him at the same time. And there you go. So these people will take it 35 years or so. One is going to kill the other, maybe. One waits for the other one to die. Pretty soon it's like, oh, they'll do the math. It's like, wait a minute. I've been miserable for fucking this long. And I have my life I need to live. I actually realize now. See, this is what happens to cerebral narcissists. If you look into it, it's fascinating. They begin to wake up into the fact that they aren't having a human experience, and they have missed so much sex and emotions and love, and they could have had a whole family over there, but that's all missing. They're just a dispenser or whatever, good money makers, whatever. So what happens is they wake up and then they become, it's called the somatic narcissist. I'll put that video up right here. You just watch this video that's there, okay? I'll make sure I put it up. It tells the story of the cerebral narcissist, which is like, this is Most people out there are cerebral. If you are somebody who thinks that you're going to get life through a book, or really it's you're gaining your power over people through knowledge, through a skill of some sort. You can be a cerebral narcissist to the bone, being a really good plumber, or a pilot, or something. You know something more, and you hold, you use that to gain leverage and power over people. um, let's say, like, yeah, I'll take you for a flight in my airplane, and then he puts it on fucking autopilot, and now he's raping you in the fucking back of the plane, and say, see, it wasn't that great, and does a flip in the plane. It's like, no. Anyway, they use that to get in there. Of course, money making is what is going to get that going. So when, the last video I made is just like, you need to tie this in and connect the dots. Like, what system is running this, knowing that the mind will try to hold on to itself at all costs, until it's seen for what it is by the awareness. People don't know that awareness and the mind are two different things, man. And these fucking people will argue with you. You have a narcissist right there when you're just locking horns all the time. And they blame it on you. They think, oh, you're just so difficult. Why are you so, why do you need help? Why do you need fucking sane people around you that are loving? That's basically what they're saying. Why do you're so sensitive. Why do you need any water? Why do you need to express yourself? Why do you need to stand up straight? It produces, like, if you listen to them, well, you're right, you'll be laid down flat, babe. They're fucking wiping their feet on you. And at that point, they don't fucking, they know that they have no respect for you. So, this is your relationship now. You're married to this. So then, they've made you into that non-expressive fucking crock of shit. Really, you will be worse if you think. Now, after so many decades of trying to love the narcissist, you will start trying to go against them, right? You're going to start trying to fight with them. Well, you're being turned into worse than a narcissist. You're being turned into a sadomasochistic narcissist. There's all kinds of material there. So this is what you're getting for thinking that you're going to love a person who has been so abused as a child that they don't have so many human qualities, includes the ability to love, which is also just a dial in. Like, how do we learn anything? They could have a learning disorder, you know, it's just temperament. Their temperament is fucked. They're going to raise your temperament up and say, oh, look what you got. You got the same thing I do. And it's like, they're out there in uniform right now, and they're going to tell you you can't get angry with their stoic boot in your face. Outnumbering, babe, because intelligence doesn't run in flocks here and get things done. That's a rare thing to come across somebody who has gotten away from their stupidity, which is their mind, and then their real heart is cooked into intelligence. I'll put another video here that says the fact of these things. We already know all of the truth. We're not just falling off the fucking wagon here, except for we are losing a battle. Not really. If there was a vaccine released to people who are in a state of belief, and they used a television set as their extended adult, it's a babysitting service for adults, in case you found school as some use to you in a way that just filled time, really. I mean, you're lucky if you're a woman that hung around women that knew how to cook and fucking sew and do things, and you observed gardening happening, and you realize this is a cool thing to do because you get food out of it. Or if you're a man that hung around real men that could turn screws and say, look, this is how you build things for who? Women. They're going to ask you for things, and you do things well. You do it well the first time. You don't, it's not well, you've got power trippers out there. Boy, oh boy, minute 15, I've observed shitty fucking women. There's the affection withholding. Now, I'm a woman that I can't experience it except for from a man, right? I mean, I'm not gay enough to go the other way. Um, I'm gay enough to try and dip in and say, "Good God, you've never had an orgasm? I knew it. You're with a fucking a narcissist right there." Women with that are just posing with these good-looking men, and they have kids with them and everything. And I'm like, I bet you anything the sex sucks, because look at the way that he treats her. The way that they'll talk about each other, and they just are full of talk about each other, right? And this is what I don't like about the subject matter of narcissism. I can talk about all kinds of different far out things, but it's technically talking about other people, right? You know what I mean? But no, we're talking about a serious subject matter that the reason why there's so much psychology and even health issues. Really, we already know, babes. This is the fact, and I'm interested in the study of it that's been going on since the beginning of time. Zen Buddhism is a conversation between two people. Um, we already know the nature of the mind. We already have been through accessing what we can when we start using our mind correctly, and we don't have it using us incorrectly, abusing everything around because it's coming from distortion. We have evidence of structures on this planet that we deny ourselves the intelligence of knowing how to do, only because that's possible, because the mind is intelligence, the heart is, and when you start resonating with the truth around you, you can probably have sciences that are providing us technologies that can build structures that can do these things, that can last forever. Because why not? Well, because there's money makers out there, and we want to play this game now, and we can put you in a cardboard box, and later just enjoy your fucking paper clothing at the end, and your cold room. Anyway, getting back to talking about what was the beginning of the subject matter. Good God, you guys. What's happening in the sky with astrology? We have Venus is going to conjunct Pluto. I think it's at the end of this month in December here. It's like, that's truth time. If you are um, a Plutonian person, which I am, I'm kind of a sneaky Plutonian type with Mars ruled, but I have Sun, Pluto, Mars. So Pluto rules the truth. Pluto is Scorpio ruled. Anything that you can think about what Scorpio is, even Halloween. Why is that going on? It has to do with the truth. Scorpios have this amazing glare. After a while, you can just see it. I mean, I think that's where the scary masks come from, right? Um, all in a day's work. The witches take off their masks and say, hey, if you can handle this shit, there's beauty to behold on the other side, and sex is included, baby. And it's not sex withholding fucking bullshit. In fact, off with your head, because, um, well, I don't know. You need to sit these people down, and you can't bust out on them. I realize I did the wrong thing by cutting off all communication. So I have to tell them, look, I can't. Just tell them, I can't. I'm going to need help here, first of all, because I've been allured into just relying on this person, and it's terrible. It's terrible. They are an abuser, and I think there's like a whole harem that know it. They're like, yay! Now look how ugly she's getting now. And it's like, you people have a lot coming. We're going to see it in my lifetime. We're going to see it. So I'm saying the vaccines were there for you. I mean, the people who don't believe in God, who don't. It's hard to explain, but just think about who people living in fear, right? Um, would take the vaccine and say, well, yeah, I got to get my second and third and fourth. I've been doing this all my life. And it's like, we don't know each other really. I don't know a lot of people. And the truth is, you don't have to. I mean, just associate with the people who love you, that are capable of loving you, who happen to be there. Sometimes you'll find, like for me, for the last 12 years with Pluto in Capricorn, my generation, really, it's my generation, you would find yourself probably struggling a little bit with some things, you know what I mean? Especially in relationships have been hard. This is where, it's getting where Pluto and Capricorn flooding out. Um, the materialists and this subject matter of money. It's going to move into Aquarius now. It's already pulling humanity towards it. It says Pluto now is going to strip humanity of all of its falsities. If you haven't gotten it with the material world, and say, no, it's not about money, it's about love. See, we can easily go into the golden age. It's coming. But not until we see this amazing separation and just shit falling and just crumbling, and they're going to try and bring us down. Those that just want you to be miserable with them somehow, that they've been shot at, and so that they wait for you to get shot at. They're not there to fend for anybody but themselves, right? And what is that though? To fucking feed into their demonic way now, their vampirous way of getting energy, which is, like I said, I guess maybe this is a long enough video. Did I even say it? It's a cult-like sensation, where uh, they would know this is the only way we can operate, and we have power because we torture ourselves enough and we make the money enough. Keeping up the fake gardens out there that nourishes us none. Oh, and just let's watch football. I'm not against having fun and feeling joy, but now if that's a distraction to how impoverished humanity is getting, 2x is up, stop. You forgot that no activity is worth overriding the action that being alive is. And that is to just make shit better, and there is a difference between activity and action. Activity is a diametric opposite to actions. We'll talk about that later. Watch this video, small, about the possibility that your mind has no access to intelligence at all. Watch this video on the amazing process that cerebral narcissists go through. It's what I dealt with. It's really interesting. I'm not sure if they're on the road to healing or not. Not if they are, I would say, evil, which is consciously playing a game of withholding emotions. How long have these people been living like this? It's two different worlds. You can go and observe that, well, these people don't even talk to each other under the same roof. They don't talk to each other. I was just telling you, I mean, like, if you are trying to love an abused person who, they don't give a fuck about love. They're laughing at you. You're a slave to them. They found somebody to mother them and to discard and treat like shit because they really don't respect you, and then watch them cheat on you and go fuck around, and what now? What brings you closer together, huh? Now they're turning you into a flea. Now you don't know that you're going beyond your own inner moral value that was like ingrained before you even were brainwashed to think, well, you're supposed to do this because that's what love does in a marriage. Shit, no, babes. You can't love an unlovable person. They will turn you into that, and even worse. They will. That's what happens to you. You will be a fucking what kind of game did you learn to play? Emotionless, emotionally unavailable, no speech. The common thing that happens with some people, that when in families that are being abused, and it's common for people to just have no expression verbally. Just, are they a mute? And there's somebody just talking all the time, but when they're away from their abuser, boy, they just start popping up and they're trying to be themselves, and depends on how bad that abuse is. They're putting on a false self perhaps, but when they're around their abuser, quiet. They might be quiet that way, and it's hard to get to them. And like I said, there's a false thing there. And why would they even hang around with that abuser? Think about it. I mean, there's a long video, and there's studies you can see. It's like, okay, so what is going on out there, babes? Are it is really, I remember the last relationship I was in for 12 years, 14 years. I knew this person, longer than that actually, but we were hooking up for 12 years. I loved this person. I taught him, I brought him up. He was somebody who didn't realize how to love a woman. I showed him my body, I showed him my sexuality. I showed him an orgasm. I was like, I'm not going to do this if you don't like the way I feel when I have fun here. And he was like, oh, what's wrong? You're on. They try to accuse you of having a problem. It's like, no, do you really want to know? And I'm here to speak for some women, 80%, you need oral sex in order to get off. You need clitoral stimulation to get, you just need your body to be recognized. That's all. You need to be kissed. You need to be paid attention to. And these fucking people, you need to bring them up. And this is what I've done, and I've gotten nothing but thank you. This man that I was with for 12 years is personal fucking shit. I remember, because we are not perfect. We are not, none of us is free of some kind of subconscious programming, some kind of conditioning that it's cute. It's cute when you know about it, because here I am, when I realize this guy's coming at me and he's amazing. And we're getting hot and heavy, and I'm telling him, look, this is my makeup, babe. This is what happened. This is what happened. My dad left when I was 5. I have an issue with abandonment. This is what I'm putting out on the table. I'm not telling you this. Now, I'm telling a narcissist this so they can use it against me later? Yeah. Yep. No, I told him this so that we can have a closer relationship. This is what real, just people who aren't operating in the shadows, they just say, hey, look, I have a sensitivity about this. Blah, blah, blah. Please don't do this to me. At least tell me I'll see you tomorrow if we have a fight and you leave. Say, see you later. Because if you really love me and if you really liked me, you don't know that I will fall into a depression because of the thing that happened with my dad, and I'm a little bit manic that way, and please excuse me if I, and you set it out on the table after a while, you stupid fucking assholes. You don't hide it away from each other and then say, well, this is the thing I don't want you to see because you're going to fucking use it to put salt in it. No. And that man, I was working on him too. He had problems. He was helping me. He pulled a thorn out of my foot. He told my grandma after a while that I saved his life. He was about ready to commit suicide. I knew that. I knew it. I was like, God, this guy is so fucked up. I'm going to put another video right here. Men at work. What is going on here? You fucking women. I blame it on women that I come and I see these men who don't know their way around a woman's body, and they are actually on the verge of about ready to fucking commit suicide. Not happening all the time with me. I'm not some kind of fucking person who fucking has sex for money. No, I've said some things on the internet that points at that, and it's like, no, actually, I've always had jobs. There's a thing happening where women are having sex for money, right? They're getting married and they're continuing on. They're saying, yeah, you can just pummel me, but I'm going to get your alimony, right? That's kind of happening, but you can see that men are narcissists too, that can be like housewives taking care of the household, and then the woman is doing all the work and he's fucking around and all this fucking shit. I'm talking about, if you try to love a narcissist, babe, you will be turned into one. Their flea, you will be turned into worse than a narcissist. You will be turned into a sadomasochistic psycho. Might kill that person just to stop all of this madness. You don't know how to get out of it. It happens every day. Minute 30, I hope that this was a payoff for you. Like Sam Baxton says, he says, if you can sit through it, bring some orange juice and get plenty of sleep tonight. Because when you go to, it's therapy. When you go to therapy, they're going to reopen it, right? They're going to tell you, fuck, man, are you kidding? I kind of want to learn it. I kind of want to learn. I think that The narcissist, the one, especially the covert ones that I have personally just dealt with, these people, I'll find it. It's the information where they'll say, "Oh no, I'm helping you." Oh no, and now look how good you are now. It's like, no, actually, life can be so much better. We could be on it's called a totally different timeline, and I see it all the time. Astrologically, you could say, you know what? If there wasn't narcissism and all this evil shit, these fucking drags and jerks and creeps that think they know better than a child weren't here, we would be in the most amazing setting, like what Tesla was offering and what I was offering with my music nearly 20 years ago to these fucking shape-shifting narcissists who really weren't playing music. They were playing their egos. So when you look at it, it's like, well, why didn't you keep this particular piece of music that gives us the chills? That's what Led Zeppelin does. They keep what makes you want to masturbate on the fucking dance floor, and they keep playing it over and over again. Narcissists are like, they didn't even catch it. It's really interesting. All I did was like study what is it like when sadomasochistic, narcissistics, and psychos, and just toddlers try to play music. What is it like? Because, God, this is a whole other video. Because music requires fundamental things in order for it to work. And what it is, it's the sound of people getting along. Narcissists aren't interested in that because they live in an upside down and backward universe. When everybody's not getting along, they're like, yay, yay, and they have to be the center of it all. Yeah, come to them because the problem was this, and they won't solve it. Because why? Well, first of all, we're not even looking at the problem because it's them, and so they're not really going to solve it. They'll patch something up, send you away with some few bucks, throw money at it. Yeah, so it was interesting to study what is it like when narcissists attempt to play music. It's interesting. They get alert. They don't know that they are actually allergic to most of the things that it takes to play music. You have to listen. You got to be on time, and you got to find out what most works best, what feels good, in order to create harmony. They don't know that they don't get it. They don't really know. The only reason why that they're up there doing it is because it gets them attention. It gets them attention. They're like, and they don't get like, well, how did it happen? How did it happen? Well, the best we can do is let's emulate a Led Zeppelin song, and they just tear it up because they know nothing about having an ear, and then that if you can play it exactly the way that Jimmy Page played it, to where it's like you think that it's the actual record playing, that's a sign that you're a good musician. Nope, they'll never hit that because they're not even playing music. They're playing their fucking egos. They'll take everything and try to do that. If it doesn't, see, music really works for everybody because if you can strum just a few chords for 3 minutes and say, I'm doing it, you'll see that there isn't any free flying and playing, and it's like it's Mustang Sally forever.